the afternoon.
I call to order the meeting of the Port of Siuslaw Commission for Wednesday, September 18th. All the commissioners here with the exception of Mike Buckwald. This is time for public comment.
Nobody signed up.
Nobody signed up. Nobody wants to sign up. Okay, good. Feel free to sign up and speak your mind. Next item on the agenda, approval of the agenda by consent. Has everybody had a chance to look at the agenda?
No modifications or on my part.
No modifications needed. The agenda is approved by consent. Has everybody had a chance to read the meetings? Approval of minutes by consent. Any changes?
I have none.
Looked good to me.
Hearing none, they are approved by consent. Approval of the financials. I'd like to have Kelly maybe give us a little.
Checks printed in August were $85,333.42. The occupancy for the campground is down 6% and mortgage is up 2% year to date. And then Commissioner Buckwald had a question about the interest rate that we were getting on our MMA account last meeting. And if you look behind the occupancy report, there's the response that I had gotten from Banner Bank.
Now where's this, Kelly? I wanna.
What page?
So behind tab 5, the very last page.
Okay.
And
That's a hi,
basically,
Kelly.
it just basically goes with what the feds are doing. If they go up, if they go down, then Banner adjusts their interest rate for that.
I'm sure that was in the documents they presented to us when we switched.
Right, I don't think it was always.
But the question Mike had was, I thought everything was supposed to stay the same when we signed up on the contracts, but not.
And that was 2.25% or something.
2.25, then it went up 2.35, then it went down to 2.15.
So it's indexed, period, to the,
Yeah.
Okay.
And that's all I have.
Question on the math on the campground occupancy. That would be, we've added, well, technically, have we added spaces?
We've added 3 additional spaces.
Okay.
We had that shut down for a month.
Month plus.
Month plus.
Okay. So are the occupancies, are the underuse, are they in the full service, or are they mainly in the dry, or do you know that right off? I'm just curious.
We would have to be in full service because we only have 3 dry sites now.
Okay.
It doesn't specify whether it's water, electric, or if it's full hookup, or if it's dry pumping. It doesn't specify that.
Now, I'm assuming our waterfront sites are still popular and
Oh, yes.
occupied.
Very popular.
Okay.
Well, we're gonna start losing some of those as the season goes on.
Yeah.
Is there a 5 limit? Is there tags filled? They'll start going home?
Yeah.
That's good. That's a good thing that their tags filled.
Yep.
Kelly, do you have anything else?
No, that's it.
It's going to be a very short meeting. This could be the shortest meeting on record.
It's all right, because I've been going since a little earlier.
We're down to manager and commissioner reports. I would like to, I had a conversation with a constituent. I don't know if any of you remember, Dave will, whatever happened with the Sandman Reef project?
You know, I don't exactly know. I think when he passed away, it went
Away with him.
away with him. You know, I haven't heard anything else about it.
What that was, for the record, is Jerry Sandman owned the Cushman store for many years. He had this idea to build an artificial reef off of the Siuslaw with concrete.
But it's still out there.
Is it still out there?
It's on the GPS. Well, I went over it before, it's full of sand now. You put all the concrete out there. Yeah, if you go to modern GPS and everything, it says the reef. On ours, it says the reef right here, and we went over there and looked at it. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, it's still right off, Sutton Lake. Out there about a mile.
Well, I guess my question would be is would it be appropriate to revitalize this push and maybe add to it, or?
You know, I don't know.
Well, I think.
I don't know if it got shut down due to environmental reasons.
I think,
Is this in the ocean or?
Yeah.
Yes.
I think Terry, it was told to me at one time that what he wanted to do was put all the crushed concrete and everything around, or chunks of concrete. You can't put asphalt in there, but concrete and everything just to make a reef for bottom fishing, correct?
Correct.
Okay, it's still a hump out there. If you take your
Well, I know where a
GPS
big
out-
pile of concrete is right now.
Well, I know, but, well, yeah, I do too.
Yeah, quite a bit of it.
But the thing about it is I think they dumped it out there, but the thing about it is with the ebbs and flows of it covered up with sand is what I'm saying. So it's just a sand bottom now with a big hump. like
So it
that.
doesn't provide,
I don't think it
cover
ever
for-
did. Now, I don't know if it wasn't big enough. Yeah, you can get on the GPS on the boat tomorrow if you want
I
to.
think
I'd take you
I
right
think
out there.
there might have only been one load taken out there.
But it's
I don't know.
designated right on the GPS for it.
Now, how deep is that water there?
Only 120 feet.
So,
Maybe 220.
So is it an obstruction to marine?
Oh, no,
No.
no, no. No, I mean, it was approved at one time to do that.
Okay.
I guess what I'd like to do is ask Dave, maybe make a few phone calls and see if it was approved, why we couldn't pursue it. You know what that would do for our fishery here?
You have a nursery, nursery?
We have no bottom structure off the coast here,
Right, that's why.
nothing, other than the degraded jetty.
Well, they, at times, they would, in the Catalina Channel, they would sink warships,
Yeah.
and they would provide tremendous reefs, but I don't think they do that anymore.
Yeah, if you go on your GPS, you got an upgraded one and everything, a big one, it'll take you right down. In fact, it even says it right on. No, I can find out because we just had the step thing from the ODF and W biology if we can still do anything. Now, I don't know how the permit worked or whatever.
I don't know if it
Because all
got
the
shut.
step members know about it. I mean, we all know about it, but
Sure.
yeah.
I think it'd be a neat opportunity to look into it and say, hey, maybe let's.
Well, I think we made it bigger and bigger and bigger, it'd probably work.
Yes, it's just not big enough. Like David said, I'm pretty sure they only got one barge load of debris dumped.
It was what, probably 20 or 15 years ago?
Boy, it's been a while.
Oh,
It's been
yeah.
20 probably.
Okay, yeah.
So, anyway, that was just an interesting point that I wanted to bring up. And anything else?
I got another interesting point, talking about that. We were out there in the ocean Saturday, looking for those elusive coho that show up when you can't find them. And we were inside the South Jetty out there, 25, 30 foot of water, marking a lot of fish, so I just put down my thing. It was salmon fishing, and we caught the California halibut out there.
Oh, good.
Yeah,
Somebody caught one up the river here too.
yeah, 25, 30 pounds. I mean, they're out there. Your dad caught one time trolling out there too. Yeah.
Well, it's definitely a different ocean this year.
Oh, yeah. Well, they're in there all the time, I think. It's just nobody looks for them.
Right.
David, I've got a question about,
Anyway, that's fishing report.
we know that the Frank went down in Winchester Bay.
Yep.
It's still,
What is our obligation in terms of, if the Coast Guard tows a boat in from the ocean, a disabled boat, are they entitled to tow it into our dock and force us to tie it up?
That's what it sounds like to me, and they won't allow that boat to leave unless it's fixed and operational.
So they write
And
the
that's-
check and we have to cash it.
Yeah, and that's the problem that Winchester Bay ran into.
Because he was towed into Windy?
Yeah, and they red tagged his boat and wouldn't let him leave. So
So is that maritime law, or can we say, why don't you tow it up to Cushman?
I don't know if you could or not. You know, we're the closest safe harbor. And-
you can't go up and navigate water, I don't think.
Okay, so we're the closest safe, and and so they can bring a derelict boat into our dock, force us to tie it up, and then they say that boat cannot be operated, it has to stay here.
No, what they're saying is he can't leave via the ocean.
Okay, so what options do we have as a port at that point? because we know what can happen.
Mm-hmm.
$100,000 or $200,000 later, if that boat sinks in our harbor, we're responsible for the cleanup and,
Hopefully they have insurance.
well, yeah, but chances are it's similar to the Frank situation.
Mm-hmm.
Do we have any kind of an insurance policy, or would it be prohibitively expensive that would cover that if that was an occurrence with?
I don't believe we have an insurance policy to cover that. I think with our insurance, it would cover a small portion of it now, but not the complete.
Sometime would you ask John
I will.
and see what if they offer coverage and how many hundreds of thousands of dollars the coverage would be.
Okay.
It's a good point, we should.
Lloyd's of London.
It's what? Well, yeah, I know. They'll insure anything if you pay the premium. Now the boats.
How much would it cost, buddy?
A lot.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's limited coverage underneath the port's policy for
Okay.
pollution. Dave's right. We'd have to go outside our current
We'd have
program
to-
with special
We'd
districts
have to wrap
to
around.
purchase that kind of coverage, and it's pretty cost prohibitive. But John would be able to get that information from you. It's a good idea.
Now the boats that we have moored in our harbor right now, there's an insurance requirement that.
We do have an insurance requirement.
Okay.
I believe commercial it's 500,000. Recreational is 2, or did we lower it to 100,000?
Now, what's the term? Are they required to send us? Is it a binder to show that they continue to be insured?
Yep.
And if there's a lapse, we would be
We're-
notified.
We're additional insured, so if they did cancel their insurance or something happened where they didn't renew their insurance company sends us a notice.
And right
That
now,
is canceled.
Yeah,
and right now, everybody in our harbor is current, as far as we
I
know.
believe.
Good.
So does the moorage contract that we have with the boat owner specify the
Mhm.
additional insured status in the written contract?
I believe it does.
Yes, it says that we will name the Port Saw Utah as additional.
Okay,
Additional insured.
I think one of our tenants bought that here not too long ago
Yeah.
successfully. They didn't want to
And
list
it just gives it's just so their insurance company keeps us up to date with any
But-
changes
Yeah,
in
so we
their
know.
insurance.
But those insurance contracts for additional insured status to be given to the port, it requires a written contract that requires it. That's why I'm wondering, in our moorage agreement, if it specifically states that. Because if it doesn't, we're getting certificates of insurance that tell us we have the status, but it's not really given to us,
Okay.
because it's not in writing. That's something we should probably look at. You could email me a copy of one of
Okay.
our moorage agreements. and
Because I know it is a
can look at
policy, and I'd have to look at a mortgage agreement to tell you if it is in our mortgage
Yeah,
agreement.
it is, because when I go to Brookings, we have to do all that too, additional
Yep.
insurance and everything. Every port you have to go in, you gotta give it.
What the insurance companies have changed their wording in their insurance policies. The only way they offer that status is if it's in a written contract
Okay.
now.
Okay, so, okay, good. So we're, all right, I'm feeling better.
Can
Go
we-
ahead.
Can we charge, so when they bring a derelict boat in, and I mean, are
That's-
we billing the owner? I mean, you can't get blood out of a turnip, right? But
That's weird.
No, the
though.
only thing you can do is put a chain on it and bring it to, and dismantle it. That's a big cost on us.
yeah,
Most people, when you go out and tell them that, you know, your boat can't move and it can't leave, and they're gonna walk away from it.
yeah.
No, this business of derelict boats sinking in ports is a big problem. We discussed it
Yeah,
at our.
there's several ports that have issues with derelict boats right now.
Well, it's gonna
a
get
big
more and more
issue.
the older they get.
Yeah.
Well, the wood fleets, they're all rotten now.
Yeah.
David, we do have a provision in there, and I think we ought to review that, that if they do not have insurance, they're allowed to moor, 5 days on the outside slip?
Is it a week?
Yeah, I remember we discussed that.
I don't think there's a time limit on it, but it's an outside slip.
But we cannot stop the Coast Guard from bringing it in here.
I don't believe we can.
We tell them to leave it out there until the next tide.
Yeah. If I get a chance to, yeah, I'd like to see that. I would like to see the way that law is actually written.
I think you can look into maritime law, and I think you'll see
Okay,
that.
all right. Okay.
should be pretty well documented. But
'Cause
what,
it's navigable waters, so, is what you're saying.
yes. They can't bring it in here and force us to keep it here. I mean, we have a policy here that says, what, 5 days, or, then they have to leave, but they can't go back to the ocean. Am I
So-
right, David? No?
I'm not sure, Terry.
You're the Coast Guards, both of you guys
Yeah,
are Coast Guard
I know,
certified.
But I'm not sure about, you know, bringing boats in to Safe Harbor, you know,
Boy.
if there's a time limit, or,
Well, that's why we have the transient dock.
yeah,
Well,
And that is paid for by
well, as I told
the
Dave,
Marine Board.
thank you, Dave, for saving us from having that problem.
You did hear, Craig, that that boat sunk down?
No.
When you.
It's right there by your boat.
No, what happened?
Frank Epps, oh, you see the top of him now.
Sank in the harbor.
Sank in the
With-
harbor.
The one right there at Schofield Creek?
Yeah.
Or the
No,
one
no,
down
no,
in,
at Winchester Bay.
Winchester
I
Bay.
haven't been to my boat in 2 weeks, I've been
Just-
working.
Just on the other side of Pizza Ray's over there, between,
And the next one too, it's about ready to go down too. They got two right next to each other.
And we're sure he doesn't have any insurance. He doesn't have, and so that port now suffers all of that damage. It's their baby now. Coast Guard tows it in, ties it up. Coast Guard writes a check and that port cashes that check.
Wow.
Yeah, so let's see what that insurance.
I don't understand what you're saying, Coast Guard writes a
Well-
check.
They impose the cost on you and we have to pay for it. It's the old expression, they write the check and you have to cash it.
I understand that.
Okay, I'm sorry, it's just a,
Well, the thing about it is, once he got out in the ocean, he couldn't come back here anyhow. 'Cause he's going that way.
Well, we were fortunate enough not to have that happen in our harbor.
Yeah.
yes,
Yeah,
absolutely.
so,
Well, he was up there when the old concrete boat burned up, so. No, that was after.
David, anything new on the blue buildings? Are we able, or we're working on a RFP or anything on those?
not yet, we're still working on that.
Okay.
I'm still working on the dredging.
Okay.
Talked with Corps of Engineers a few days ago, and they're still, they're waiting to hear from NIMS on our eelgrass survey.
Okay,
But there's no red flags that are
Okay.
getting thrown up, and
Good.
we're in the time frame
Good.
where we want to be. The 23rd, Coos Bay will be coming up here at noon for an on-site meeting, so we can go over to the facility and put a plan.
23rd of September.
Yeah, it'll be Monday. They'll be here at 12 o'clock, and so we'll start working with them a little bit more now and get a plan for the dredging. I've had the dredge site, we're starting to excavate it now at this time. We've cleared a lot of the brush on top. This week they'll bring some more equipment in and we'll dig out the
They'll
hole.
pump it right up on
and-
top.
Yeah, they may come down early and start welding pipe at some point earlier.
Now, the water outflow when that occurs, are we gonna have an erosion again on
No,
our
no.
neighbors?
No,
Okay.
no, and we don't wanna say that we are.
Okay, okay,
But no, that will not happen.
okay.
That will not happen. We had the electrician come into the 080 building, and he's working on an estimate to fix the issues that are in the 080 building.
Okay, okay, good.
But other than that, we're just plugging away with all these projects.
Got a full plate.
Yep.
One of the question I had that was on the Dahlbeck property, do we ever do anything?
I've talked to the attorney about that, and at some point we can
Declare it surplus?
declare it surplus and deed it back to him if that's how you so choose.
Can we do that? Is that what the attorney recommended?
He said we can do that, yeah.
We don't have to put it up for public
We,
bid.
I think we would still have to put it up as public surplus, and then we could deed it back to him.
I think that's fair and appropriate.
Mhm.
So,
And
Yeah,
I
a little piece
and
of
I
that.
talked to him Dave came in and I talked to him about a month ago.
Okay,
And told him.
so we're still looking at it, working on it.
Yep.
Okay, good. Your Mo's walkway?
Mo's Walkway, that should be starting here within the next week or so. It's gonna take about 2 weeks total. Trying to get a schedule worked out with them so we have a time frame so we can work with Mo's on it also.
Probably pretty tough right now, being the end of the
Still
season.
busy.
But yeah, that'll be, I think it's happening next week, I'm pretty sure they'll start.
Are they gonna have to pour the abutment or anything?
Yeah, the abutment, they'll tear out the bridge that's there right now, the walkway, and then they'll put the abutment in, and it's got to cure for probably about 3 days, they said. And once that cures, I mean, the walkway will go in quick.
Good, super.
It's already made, isn't it? They just said it.
Yeah, it's me.
Any more word from ICM?
No,
Have they been proceeding with
they-
their
they
improvement
have.
plan?
they have, they've been doing stuff, but, you know, in the summertime, it just gets so busy there. But yeah, they've definitely made an effort on a lot of things.
Well, we're not gonna get any hot fishing tips or reports from you, so,
We don't wanna let you know. 360s.
yeah, I know. What about which lure?
360 bait, no bait.
Upcoming, meetings, October 16th,
Should
our
be
next
our
board,
Mapleton meeting.
that will be held in Mapleton.
Mapleton. Hopefully somebody shows up.
Road trip.
Road trip.
So, I haven't been to a meeting in Mapleton where they held.
Go to the high school.
No, we won't tell
High
you,
school?
you gotta just wander
You gotta
around.
be in there, man. It is so exciting.
I
Yeah.
can't wait, man.
Yeah. There's
You
six
just
of
have
us.
to wander around till you find us, we don't tell you where we are.
There's all 6 of us in there looking at each other.
Sort of like it is here right now.
Yeah. Well, no, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Everybody's seen when we're having our,
Barbecue.
Barbecue.
Yeah.
No, I didn't see that.
Everyone's invited.
Oh,
That'll be fun.
It's next
Get
Friday.
your slips like Monday.
Okay.
Yeah. We won't forget you.
that's good.
Is Jerry
Hopefully we
good?
have some sun, like
I
last year.
doubt it.
Yeah.
Yeah, last year was nice.
Yeah, cook it, Jerry?
Me cook?
Yeah, I did.
I had McDonald's for dinner tonight. What, want me to order you a double?
I went over and got a 7-Eleven pizza. 1 slice. I had to sign up. It wasn't bad. I had to sign up to get 50 cents.
And he swallowed that pizza, I saw it. first.
Yeah, over there talking to Ryan. It wasn't bad though.
There's a OPPA conference October 3rd at the Port of Morrow. Is anybody interested?
You know where that is?
What is it?
It's up on the Columbia. isn't it?
Yeah, up by Boardman.
David, I'm
Where
not
it is.
this year, I will make some of these meetings next year, but I am trying to wrap up mine.
I'm not interested.
Okay.
I wish I could, but I just can't.
I will report Mike's wife had her knee replaced, and she's doing very well. She's at home, so
Good.
resting comfortably, and that's why he couldn't be here tonight, so we wish her well. That being said, I'm going to terminate this meeting.
Perfect.
I'll second
Thanks,
it.
Terry.
Thank you, thank you, thanks everybody.
It's almost the shortest meeting on record.
All right, well, I stretched it out for you, so it wouldn't.